in these days of energy saving now, we're going to all have a hard time with heating. Would it be a good idea, or could we even just have one radiator left on and turn all the others off, so that you just stay in the one room, and all the others being off would mean that surely the boiler hasn't got to work very hard, and it would save us a lot of gas. Is that possible? Now that is a very interesting question, so let's get into this one, shall we? Let's then take a look at F&E systems first. Always on an F&E system you'll find a bypass somewhere, either built into the pipe work, in which case you don't need what they call a bypass radiator, or in most cases you do have this bypass radiator usually located in a hall, and it's usually got two lock shield type valves on either end, so you can't turn them at all. It stays on, and that is usually where the room thermostat is also located, so you get the right temperature set for your house. So that means basically with that kind of system you will have to leave that room on, and I assume you don't want to sit in a hall or wherever the bypass rad is. Sometimes it can be in the bathroom on a towel rail, you know, it does depend. But it does mean you actually got to heat two rooms. But let me show you a picture of a circuit. There is a drawing then of a typical bypass rad system. As you can see, this is a combi boiler, and it's coming round, and there's the bypass rad. You see they go in there and out, in and out, and then when it gets to that one it goes through and back and completes the circuit. So it carries on going. If these two shut down, that one remains open to allow the bypass facility. Now I hear a lot you say, combi boilers, let's look at those. They've got a bypass built in, so I don't need to have one of those fitted, a bypass radiator. I can have controls on the whole lot, all thermostatic radiator valves, and when they all shut down, no problem, I've got a bypass in the boiler. Now, while that may be true for a lot of combi boilers, especially obviously the modern ones, there's still a reason that they like to have a bypass fitted also, and that is because, as actually with F&E boilers, the same thing. A lot of them are low content, and especially a combi boiler, and the idea is that the heat mustn't build up in the boiler, so when it switches off, you'll often hear your combi still sounds like it's running for a bit. What it's doing is pumping still, it's pumping the heat away from the boiler, and it needs somewhere to pump that heat to, so it wants to go around the system just to cool down. Okay, that's the idea of it. So therefore, if you don't still have a bypass radiator, and they're all shut off because the room you're sitting in, the thermostat's clicked off, then that would do the boiler no good whatsoever. It could well overheat and do some damage. So even with a combi, you do need the bypass really to protect the boiler. So going back to our original question, we've probably got to heat two rooms in theory. Obviously still the boiler hasn't got much work to do. It's still got to go round and heat the pipes, obviously to and fro that room and the room with the bypass radiator. So yes, I guess it should save you money on gas. It's just doing one, but I don't know whether it'd be very comfortable in the house with the rest of it getting so cold. Whether it's a good thing really to have them all on to heat the brickwork and the whole building so that you get more heat back that lasts. I've got a mixed view on this one. I'm sure you've got your own views, which I think I'd like to hear from. So all comments, put them in the box below. I'm sure everybody would like to hear them, and give me your view on this kind of idea, whether it will actually save money or whether in the long term it's not much good for your house overall, because it get no heat except for one room and the bypass room. So interesting question.
That's the way, there's nothing